Hi, welcome to 2020 Tasty Treats with GourmetQuilter. I'm Susan Clare, GourmetQuilter, and I am doing, at the moment, I'm doing quite a few series this year in 2020. Each one has 20 parts, and they've all got videos and downloadable patterns, and they run for 20 days at a time. So we are up to applique number 11. We're doing an applique series at the moment of In the Playroom, so lots of fun things happening, sorts of things we might like to play with if we were living in the playroom. There's a picture up here with all 20 that we're doing. We're actually up to number 11 this time, so that's really good. And every playroom should have a book in it, so we've got a book this time. So if you're already receiving the pattern from GourmetQuilter.com, you'll have a page like this that you can download and print with all of everything ready, full size for tracing for the applique. So I've gone ahead and cut all my pieces out. They've all got fusible web on the back. And now I'm just positioning them. So this one's going to look a whole lot like the background because it's the pages of a book and they're light and they're onto a white, but by the time we've stitched it, it will look a whole lot better. So this particular one on the pattern piece, there's some markings where the pages might be on the book. So I've just traced those through. So when I've had it on the fusible here, I've got that all on there, so I've just traced it through just lightly onto the fabric so that I can do the stitching to indicate those lines there. So now I'm just going to, and this is the cover. It looks a little strange, but we only see a small portion of the cover. So it does look strange, but it's actually just how we want it to be. And so I'm just going to position the book pages on top of the cover because that's how they usually sit. And then just instead of some actual text, I've got just a couple of bits here that might indicate that there's some words or pictures or something in the book. You might prefer to put something slightly more interesting. However, this is what I've done. So that just goes in the middle of the pages, just indicates there's something going on in that book there. So I'm quite happy with the way that's looking. It kind of looks like an open book. One will look more like one once that stitching's done. So I'll just iron everything in place, and because I'm doing free motion stitching I need to have a stabilizer behind so that it doesn't all scrunch up and waste all my efforts. So I'll just iron that to the batting. It's not fusible, but it just holds together nicely. And now go to the sewing machine. I've set my machine up for free motion. I've dropped the feed teeth. I've got a free motion open toe foot on. I've got a grey thread in. So I'm just going to start doing the book. I think we'll go around the book and these page lines just so you can see how that comes out. So I am just going to start down here. And I'm going to come up here and I'm just going to come along this drawn line. That comes up over here as well. So just take things slowly, you don't have to rush with this sort of work, it's the beauty of it really. And now I'm going to go across this top edge, which is a bit hard to see because it's a very similar colour to the background. It's not quite the same, but it is very similar. So we'll get that done. Now there's a centre line of the book here that goes between the pages, and I think I'll do that now and I'll come back up that same line again. And then continue on the top of these pages. This is where it's really good to have a contrast thread because we're using such a similar colour to the background, but the colour of the thread will help outline it so that you can see what it's actually supposed to be. So fairly straightforward stitching, but interesting in that it's just something a little bit different with the colouring and things. So I can continue on now finishing the rest of it, and I'll come back and show it to you because now it really is fairly straightforward. So I've just come round to the end. I'll just finish off there, a couple of stitches on top. So I think that's looking a little bit like an open book now. You could write somebody's name in there, you could get a pen and write a little tiny story in there. You could really have a whole lot of fun in that little storybook. So that was applique number 11 for In the Playroom. I'll pop it up here in the playroom here with all these other things that you just might find in a playroom. And I will see you again with applique number 12 for In the Playroom.